Greenhouse gases refer to some molecules like carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, and some other gases in the atmosphere. Altogether, they are creating the greenhouse effect. For thousands of years, this effect has enabled us to live on Earth, although it has become a cause of many different environmental troubles that we have today, like melting the ice sheets in the North and the South Poles, or sea level rise and more intense floods in different areas, or the Earth's abnormal rising temperature in the last decades, and so on. In this video, we would like to understand more about these gases and learn how dangerous they could be. This is the Sun, the Earth, and the Moon. The Earth and the Moon are roughly at the same distance from the Sun in the solar system. When the Sun radiates its heat and energy toward the Moon, its atmospheric gases like sodium and potassium cannot keep the heat, and this energy quickly returns back to the space. So the Moon remains cold and has an average surface temperature of minus 18 degrees Celsius, but the Earth's average temperature is plus 15, and the greenhouse gases are responsible for this difference. They are less than just 1% of the whole atmospheric gases, but their role is enormous. This is what's happening. When the Sun sends its radiations toward the Earth, some of it reflects from the atmosphere, and the rest passes through the air and reaches the Earth's surface, giving some of its energy to us and then reflecting back. These reflected heat waves have lower energy, and they are called infrared radiations. Then the greenhouse gases are ready to absorb these heat radiations and retain them to keep us warm. This whole process is called the greenhouse effect. So this effect acts like a big blanket for us. The time that we are sleeping, the blankets retain the heat released from our bodies. So because of them, we feel warm at night. But imagine if we put more than enough blankets on ourselves. It is uncomfortable and it can cause body thermoregulation disorder. This is exactly what's happening when we have more than enough greenhouse gases. It could be unbearable, creating a range of problems for us and the environment. So what are the main greenhouse gases? According to IPCC, 65% of all these greenhouse gases are the carbon dioxide that comes from the fossil fuels, like natural gas, oil, petroleum, and industrial processes. 11% of them are the carbon dioxide that comes from the deforestation and changing the land uses. Many plants that generally absorb the excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere are usually cut off during the land use change. Once the carbon dioxide is added to the atmosphere, it could hang around for thousands of years. Therefore, as human changes the atmosphere by emitting more carbon dioxide, those changes will endure on the timescale of many human lives. 16% of the greenhouse gases are methane from different sources. Farm animals like cows, goats, sheep, and pigs produce methane through a process called enteric fermentation. Rice cultivation also produces methane. Water-like paddy fields provide an ideal environment for microbes to grow methane in a process called methanogenesis. The burning of woodlands and forests also release lots of methane into the atmosphere. Another source of methane is the decomposition of organic wastes, like the food waste in the landfills. So whenever we waste our food, we contribute to the atmospheric greenhouse gases. Lastly, methane can be released during the oil and gas extractions. It is often termed fugitive emissions. Methane can remain in the atmosphere for about 12 years, and it is around 30 times more potent to absorb heat than the CO2. The other potent greenhouse gas is nitrous oxide from the soil bacteria. When we apply more than enough nitrogen fertilizers to the soil, some specific bacteria produce this dangerous gas and release it into the atmosphere. It is around 250 times more dangerous than the CO2, and it can remain in the atmosphere for more than 100 years. There is also a 2% of other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So what are the main sectors that are creating the greenhouse gases? The leading 5 sectors are electricity and heat production, agriculture, forestry, and other land use, industry, transportation, and building. It's important to note that the customers of all these sectors are us, the humans. As we lower our footprints in each of these sectors, less amount of greenhouse gases would be released into the atmosphere. So every one of us lifestyle matters.